When the sun goes down and the lights come up, the Super Trucks will rock and roll at Richmond. The FasMart SuperTruck Shootout, part of the Nascar Craftsman SuperTruck Series. It's yours live tonight on ESPN 2 at Richmond International Raceway. 38 trucks, largest field of the year lined up, and the 34 drivers who qualified on time are bracketed by just 0.8 of a second. It's the most competitive field of the year. Hello, everyone. I'm Dave Despain. We're live on the grid. Look who's who at the zoo tonight. We got Darrell Waltrip in the show. He's won 6 times here at this racetrack, and he's one of 6 Winston Cup regulars in the field. That's a record. Come with me. It's crowded down here. See the black truck, black 3. Mike Skinner, series point leader, but only by a little bit. And right in front of him, the Busch Grand National point leader. That's Johnny Benson Jr. and his Busch Grand National rival. There's Johnny right there. His Busch Grand National rival, Chad Little, is in the show tonight. He's one of 7 guys making his first start in the series. That is also a record. Ron Hornaday Jr. won the last race, Flemington, New Jersey, that way, sliding sideways across the finish line. And right up here at the front of the field, Terry Labonte starts on the pole. Remember the last Winston Cup short track race? Labonte won that one, grinding the nose off on the concrete up at Bristol. And he's also won the last 2 races on this racetrack. So there you have it, a star-studded field. Let's talk about points. 127 of them bracketing the top 4 in the standings. And the man who's going to patrol pit road tonight is there to talk to him. Let's go to Marty Reed.
46 points, David. That's what separates first from second place. Mike Skinner's the leader. Joe Ruttman is in second place. He's got the advantage tonight, though. He's starting on the outside of row number 1, and underneath that helmet, I think there's a bit of a smile.
Well, there's a big smile, and I can't wait to, Mom, I'm going to call you, 1-800-COLLECT, and we're going to save a lot of money doing this, so hang it. Do accept the call when I do, and if everyone else would call, it'd help us out as well. But, no, we're really excited. It qualified extremely well, and we're just hoping that we can continue this pace through the first 75.
Obviously, Joe's going to be trying to go down and stay out front, maybe a little bit behind Labonte, maybe a little bit ahead of him. Let's move back to row number 4. 7th starting position. That's where we're going to find Mike Skinner. The problem is Mike has qualified on the pole 9 times this year. He's won 6 of the races. This is the farthest he's been back in quite a while. And as we stick our head in, Mike, let me butt in here if I can for a second. I know you're talking to the crew, but you got a rough, tough task ahead of you. You've got to fight your way up, and and Joe Ruttman is sitting there in the outside of row number 1.
Well, they don't pay nothing for this first lap or 2 here. We're just going to try to do our best the whole first half of the race. If we're in the top 10 somewhere, at the halfway break, I know this crew can make some adjustments to this thing and hopefully make it a little bit better for us. So the first half of the race, we're going to try to keep the fenders on this GM Goodrich Service Chevrolet, and we might race them a little bit in the second half.
Well, a total of 38 cars are in this field, and I want to know one question as we go to Benny Parsons. Benny, how did I get stuck down here and Dave Despain get stuck running up and downstairs? All you have to do is sit up there and sip that Coca-Cola.
Hey, we got to have the good-looking guys up on the roof, Marty, don't you know? But it looks to me like the NASCAR SuperTruck Series by Craftsman has arrived. Last year at this time, there were, 5 or 6 of these trucks in the world, and tonight we sent 3 trucks home, couldn't qualify. And we have our stars, Mike Skinner, Ron Hornaday, big stars in the motorsports world. Joe Ruttman and Butch Miller, they're even bigger stars than ever. Tonight we've got 5 or 6 Winston Cup drivers in the field. We got the Busch Grand National, first and second in the points. And we've got 4 guys, Steve Portingate from out west. We got Gary St. Amant from the Midwest. And we've got 2 guys, local guys, Bugs Harefield from right here in Richmond, and Todd Massive down in Haw River, North Carolina, 2 Winston Racing Series regulars that's trying to make a name for themselves in auto racing. And they're doing it through the SuperTruck Series by Craftsman. Guys, this thing is for real. And Dave, please get up here, will you? I can't do all this by myself. Come on, Dave, come on.
Benny, man, I'm working on it. I'm out of breath. How about my 40,000 friends here? Tell me who's going to win the race tonight. Who's going to win? It's unanimous. It's unanimous. We'll be back after the break to see if these people have any idea what they're talking about. Stay tuned for more Super Truck action from Richmond. Right after this, I got to hurry. We'll be back. How about this? Full moon fever on a Thursday night at Richmond. Boy, that ought to bring out the crazies in the grandstand and on the racetrack. It's the NASCAR SuperTruck Series, and it is brought to you by Chevrolet, proud to be the official truck of the NASCAR SuperTruck Series. And by NASCAR 94 Year in Review. To order your copy, call 1-800-71-NASCAR. They call it the short track that thinks it's a super speedway. Benny, this is quite a joint.
It is quite a joint. It seats about 80, 90,000 people. Here we are, 3/4 of a mile, D-shaped. Backstretch 860 feet. The corners of bank at 14 degrees. Home stretch is 8, and the backstretch about flat, just 2 degrees bank.
I heard just about as many guys saying they were tight as loose coming in. We've got 150 laps. The pole speed 116 and change. $165,000 will make it worth going out and tearing up your truck a little bit here tonight. And we've got 38 trucks on the grid, including 2 with onboard cameras. You ride here with Joe Ruttman, who's outside the front row, as we take a look at the starting lineup. Terry Labonte on the pole.
On the second row, Jeff Bodine and Ron Hornaday Jr. Third row.
We got Benson from the Busch Grand National ranks and Rodney Combs Jr., part of a father-son team here.
And look, there's Mike Skinner and Rodney Combs. The old man is behind.
Sedgwick, the crew chief who thinks he's a driver, or maybe the other way around, and the old veteran Waltrip.
In the next row, row 6, Steve Portingay and Hermes Sadler's first race in the Super Trucks.
First time ever we've had brothers in a Super Truck show. Todd Bodine and his brother Jeff, and Derek Cope, a first-timer.
Back in row 8, Kenny Schrader and Gary St. Amant from Columbus, Ohio.
Top qualified Dodge is Dennis Setzer. He'll start alongside the sprint car racer Sammy Swindell.
In row 10, Mike Bliss and Rick Corelli.
Take you on back through the rest of the show, through the rest of the field here, 38 strong, and they'll be coming around, pick up that green flag. Butch Miller didn't qualify very well, but then he never does.
They're not going green this time. They are not. The light is atop the pace truck. There's Mike Chase and Chad Little's first race, and there's Bugs Harefield, local boy, Toby Butler.
Kenny Allen and Todd Massey, a couple of the newcomers, comparative newcomers to the series back there, row 15, row 16. Archer's back. That's good to see.
Tommy Archer and the coach. Not playing football on Thursday night, so here he is.
Keselowski didn't qualify for much in one of 3 Dodges. As you go on back through the provisional starters here tonight, Walker Evans, John Kinder, and T.J. Clark and Bob Reback. Let's note that there are 20 Chevrolets, 15 Fords, and 3 Dodges, but we're going to see a bunch more Dodges coming into this series. Got a hunk of debris out there that they'll clean up before they go green, which should be 1 lap from now. We're going to see a bunch more Dodges coming into this deal next year because they have matched the Ford and Chevy cash.
Yes, and we see the light once again on the top of the pace truck, and that means that it will not start. It will not get the green flag the next time by because they've got to come up and pick up the piece of debris. There he is. He just picked it up. Good job.
Sent guys home from, he did a nice job of that. Scooped it up on the move, kind of like that shortstop guy that played all those games. Can't remember his name. Brass, Davis, Dockett, and Winslow went home, and I think that's another sign of the future. More trucks means a lot of disappointment at the end of qualifying.
And I talked to people today, when we go to Martinsville in 2 weeks, there's going to be even more trucks there.
I can remember when we used to come in the early days of Richmond televised races to this place, and you could really sense the history. I mean, you could remember, you could feel the days when it was a little dirt bull ring where Lee Petty used to race. Now, you come to this place, you got 6 Winston Cup drivers in the show, and we'll take a look at who they are and also their number of truck starts. Note down there at the bottom, Bodine, Waltrip, Cope, comparative newcomers. But as you look at this racetrack and at the background shots that you see here, what a job they've done with Richmond Raceway,
man, this is unbelievable. And there's no people in the back grandstand tonight because this place will seat about 80, 90,000. But trust me, Saturday night for the Winston Cup, it will be full. As a matter of fact, all the seats have been sold for 6 months.
And look at the front straightaway.
Man.
We have put some folks in for the truck race tonight. I don't know, I haven't heard an estimate yet, but they are strung basically from the entrance at turn 3 pretty much full around the middle of turns 1 and 2. And we are looking for the drop of the rag, ladies and gentlemen. We are truck racing at Richmond, and they go 3 wide right from the get-go as Labonte, the pole sitter, takes them down. Ruttman had a notion, couldn't go anywhere, ended up taking a big old wreck at turn 2. We've stacked them up, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trucks, looks like involved anyway. There's the coach, he's in it. Toby Butler got tangled up.
It looks like they're all moving.
That kind of started about the middle of the pack, and from the middle on back, it was just a jam scene. who else got tangled up in that? It looked like Chad Little maybe in his very first truck start. There's some damage to the 25 of Kenny Schrader.
Jack Sprague. Him too.
Let's see how it happened, Benny.
Let's see where we... Oh, there we get some... Butch Miller tags Jack Sprague, and Butch just gets a little bit of damage. The 24 of Lagus is involved, and then we see Toby Butler in the 21 truck, and Coach Glanville in the 81 stops, and that 11 is Chad Little's also involved. And look at the sparks dragging off the 98 Rebestas truck.
That is not good news for the man who sits fourth in the series standing.
Oh, the right front is flat.
Oh, man. Butch Miller going to try to limp her back around. My dyslexia got me there. Kenny Schrader's 52. Jack Sprague's 25. I got him turned around backwards. But this is Kenny's first truck race since he lost a thumb at one of the preceding events on the tour. He's back and racing here tonight. Qualified, so-so. But here is the big story. Is Butch Miller, who didn't qualify well, told me just before he went out, 23rd, we can move up from there. I think maybe Marty Reed's got something for us on that.
Well, I'll tell you what, this got to be a big disappointment for Butch. They're going to go to work on the right side, and right in front of him comes Jack Sprague, as they're going to have to take the left rear on his truck. So obviously some damage, and these guys are going to try and get this done. And already the field has moved through turn number 2, and Butch Miller's ready to move back out.
Well, wait no time, getting out to stay on the lead lap. Big disappointment when you're fourth in the points. You definitely don't want to be sitting on pit road with a beat-up truck before you get to turn 2 of the race. And Sprague, perhaps a little less costly in terms of the season. He's just out here trying to win the race tonight, but nobody likes to get beat up on the first lap.
And Sprague would like to drive this truck next year. I mean, they have not determined who will drive the 25 truck next year. I don't know that Budweiser will be the sponsor, but, you know, Sprague is not solid. He needs to go out and have a good run tonight, so...
A lot of guys in that situation with 5 races left after tonight, and this series slated to go perhaps 24 dates next year. Probably all, I think inevitably, all on TV. There are going to be some great rides out there that are going to be based on where you end up in the points and where you end up in the last 5 races of the year. Miller's back in.
Back in and look under the car to see what's dragging. I guess Butch has told him that there's something rubbing someplace. He said, no, everything is fine. We see the damage to the nose of the truck, but I think that's superficial. I'm not sure that's going to hurt anything.
They talk about a lot less downforce on the trucks than on the race cars. How big an issue is that going to be here on this 3/4 mile layout? Are they going to feel loose and squirrely?
Well, I think so. The guys talked about those trucks really pushing a lot of air with the nose of the car, as compared to the Winston Cup car, certainly.
Back underway, a 4-lap caution. The restart on 5 with Terry Labonte, the pole sitter, jumping out front. Rutman settling into that 3rd position. Down the backstretch. First time at full race speed.
Wow, there goes Skinner on the edge. Jeff Bodine comes the X-Type truck, takes the lead from Labonte.
How about Skinner? What was he saying in that interview? Just going to sit back, take her easy?
Oh, yeah.
Fast 3 trucks on first lap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take it easy. You bet.
That's Johnny Benson, the 18, right behind Skinner.
Boy, that kid's a good young race driver. But he's about to be challenged. Hornaday up the inside. Love the way they can run side by side here.
This is the precision gear onboard camera.
Looking out the front of Benson, at the back of Hornaday. He's running 5th at the moment. What about speed on this racetrack? Manny, they qualified just short of a $1:20. What's that translate into for straightaways?
We're probably looking at 135, 140 miles an hour, about right there. Jeff Bodine backs off the gas, applies the brakes, takes the car right to the bottom of the racetrack.
Chad Little told me he couldn't figure out this braking. They got big brakes apparently on his truck, and he said he just couldn't figure it out. How much brake do you use going to the corner here?
Quite a bit, especially going in turn 3 because it's such a sharp corner as compared to 1. So if you watch these trucks go down in turn 1, we'll see that that corner is very gradual. The D shape goes in that corner, and it's not too bad. But in 3, the corner's a lot sharper.
Riding along with Joe Rutman looking out the back. And looking at Skinner, who's come from 7th starting spot to run 4th. Further back in the field.
Porting Gandy 83, that's Todd Bodine on the outside in Jack Roush's truck. And there goes the green Combs, Rodney Combs in the green 43, the Snapper truck.
Mention Schrader, too, so people know that he really is in the race. Yeah, that wasn't a complete check, okay? And 32 is Derek Cope. You probably recognize that St. John, first time in a truck for Cope. We have 6 Winston Cup guys in the show here, and 7 drivers making their first truck start. And I think as much as any other statistic, that probably speaks well for what you talked about at the top of the show, all the interest and enthusiasm for this series.
A tremendous amount of enthusiasm. There's the other Rodney Combs in the blue truck right in front of Schrader, and there we see Portingay and Cope. That's Portingay, the black number 83, and Cope in the mane and tail 32. And there's Hermie Sadler, the 00. Brand new truck this race, first time out.
I love to listen to that kid talk. Good thing he doesn't talk right.
Oh, we got a spin coming off turn 4. Looks like the 22.
That's Todd Massey making his first appearance here, and Richmond jumped out and bit him. Coming off of 4, he got her up against the inside retaining wall for the second caution of the race on lap 12. No change up front. Bodine has shown the way since he jumped in front of Labonte. We'll take a break and come back with more. Look at the people. We're back. We're live on ESPN2 with the NASCAR Super Trucks by Craftsman. Jeff Bodine leading a Super Truck race for the first time this year. Lights are on the space car. We won the green. Let's see what happens to bring out the yellow here, man.
Todd Massey coming off turn 4. Around he goes, and luckily none of the other trucks were involved. There we see Walter Evans go by. Toby Butler having some problems. He goes by. And there we see Todd Massey.
He's gathered it back up and is back underway. Haw River, North Carolina. I recognize that kid. I recognize the watch. Isn't that,
let's see. Turn around. Who is that kid? Who's he talking?
Tell that kid to turn around. Who does he think he is? Nah, it's Jeff Gordon. We're just having some fun with the Darlington winner. Spotting for Legacy, I'll bet, huh?
I guess he is.
You think he owns a piece of that truck or not? I keep hearing, yeah, he does. No, he doesn't. Yeah, he does. I think he may own half of Hendrick's operation by the time he's done.
Yeah, he could if he wanted to. That's for doggone sure.
Legacy's back in the field a little, but the team truck of Terry Labonte is going to be starting right up front. Running second as they line them up with the lap trucks down on the bottom and the fast trucks up on the top. Bodine gets a pretty good hop. And we're back underway on lap 16. We'll go 75, take a break, do 75 more. It's 150 laps of action. And the man on the move thus far has been Skinner. Let's see what he does as they go side by side with the lap.
As a matter of fact, Hornaday drove on the inside trying to get under Skinner. Couldn't quite make it. Tried to use the lap trucks of Gary St. Amant. Gary having some problems here in Richmond. Looks like the car's on 7 cylinders or something.
They're going to throw a black flag at somebody out there for
Mike Chase.
Start number 1, Mike Chase. And, of course, that's the truck that P.J. Jones, there he is, that's the truck that P.J. Jones has been driving all year. Mike Jones did it last week for the first time. He'll drive it for the rest of this year. We got another spinner.
Looks like, is that the coach? Put in gear. Well, there's 2 of them down there, as a matter of fact.
Find a cog there somewhere.
That's T.J. Clark in the 23, and the yellow is wavy.
T.J. Clark, of course, is a driving instructor for a living, and I think he might have given the coach a tip down there. They were discussing strategy, and both ended up facing the wrong direction.
Now, Mike Chase is really getting a break right now because he heated the black flag. He came in, and here the car's coming off turn 4. He will not lose a lap. If he had done this on the green, he obviously would have lost a lap. So, big break for Mike Chase.
Let's go down trackside and see if we can hear from that kid with the good-looking wristwatch, Marty Reed.
Yeah, well, Jeff Gordon is down here taking a look at his truck. Now, you mentioned to me that you wanted to see your truck racing out there. Everybody's been speculating if you had any interest in the Legacy truck. Now, you sort of confirmed that.
Well, I certainly do. You know, Rick Hendrick and I are kind of partners in this deal, and we have a lot of interest in it. There's a truck right now. I'm sitting here. They're going over there over the wall. They must have a problem, but you know, this thing has really come along, and Scott's a great driver, and we're really glad to have DuPont on board. But I tell you, we found out it's pretty tough. It's real competitive, and you know, it's going to take a lot of hard work and dedication. Tonight, you know, we got 2 trucks out there with Terry, and he's doing a great job. And you know, Scott's still trying to learn. He's a good road racer, but these ovals have been tough on him. So we're going to keep trying to get him some better equipment all the time.
I'll put your mind at ease. They were just checking the tires. They didn't change anything. You like it out here on the wall better, huh?
Well, I need some earplugs or a radio so I can hear what's going on, because my ears are shot as it is. But, you know, we just stopped over here, Brooke and I stopped over here just to have some fun. And bring back some old memories of, you know, Thursday Night Thunder or something, you know. So we're enjoying ourselves. We're going to be here for a little while, watch these trucks, and have a good night.
Well, I'll tell you what, guys, it's the first time he's ever been lost at a racetrack. I guarantee you that. You know, his stepfather is spotting tonight up top as well.
All right, good to see Jeff Gordon out enjoying the show here tonight. It's kind of a celebrity deal. I'll tell you, he impressed me at Darwin.
Oh, he was impressive. And he forgot the third Hendrick truck. Jack Sprague is driving the third Hendrick truck here tonight.
Hendrick Motorsports, of course, for all their success in Winston Cup, have also come very strong into this truck division as we prepare for the restart. Bodine's been on the point since he jumped around Labonte right after the first yellow of the night. We're back to green on lap 21. Look at the crowd at this place.
What, I don't think they're disappointed so far in what they're seeing. And it's only going to get better as the night wears on.
3 and 16's your rivalry right there. Comes Skinner, and on his tail, Hornaday. Skinner with six wins, and Hornaday with 5. But in the points, Hornaday is only 3rd behind Ruttman. He hasn't been as consistent as Skinner in terms of the race for the championship.
Oh, 3 abreast there.
Yahoo!
Hermie on the outside. That's Rodney Combs in the 43, the Snapper truck.
Rodney Sr. and Jr. both in the competition here this evening. That Sr. you're watching.
That red truck there, you saw Dennis Setzer, the Dodge.
Eric Koch chasing Sprague in the 75 truck. Used to be Hornaday's crew chief.
Schrader going by the 17, trying to get by that Darrell Walker at the Westland Auto truck.
Got some radio traffic. I think that's Walter's guys we're listening to. Darrell did the road race, 3 events ago.
Schrader just dived on the inside of Benson and almost had a little contact there, David.
Nice onboard view. This thing is the short track that thinks it's a super speedway. How much do you have to bump and bang here? Compare this with, say, Bristol.
Well, it's not nearly as bad as, you don't have to bang nearly as bad. We can see that Schrader's going to make the pass and not touch a thing. Well, he hasn't yet anyway.
That's pretty. That's a nice move. And there goes Skinner on the inside and around Ruttman. That's your championship battle right there. You heard from both up at the top of the show. Meanwhile, Waltrip will get the best of Benson up the inside. ODW knows his way around this joint.
Puts him up in 7th place. Schrader's in 6th. Benson is back in 8th now.
I mentioned Darrell won 6 times on this racetrack. That's perhaps a bit of an exaggeration because, again, they changed it from a little flat half mile to this bank 3/4 mile, and I don't know that Darrell's won on the new layout.
I don't believe he has. We see Hornaday has passed the 84 truck of Ruttman, so looks like that Jimmy and Ernie and the boys will have to do some adjusting to the 800 collect truck of Joe Ruttman.
I can hear Ruttman on the radio calling 1-800-HELP.
Yeah, right. Who can call? 800 collect. He needs to get on the phone.
He said the thing had been tight. They've been fighting tight all through practice and qualified that way. A couple of Winston Cup regulars sitting out front here with Bodine showing the way and Labonte about 2 trucks back. As we take a break, we'll come back with more after this. We're back at Richmond International Raceway, where 38 tough truckers are added in the Nascar SuperTruck Series with Bodine showing the way and Labonte in second. It's a good side-by-side battle. It's been going on a couple laps. Cope on the inside, and he's after it with Bill Sedgwick up on the outside.
And that's Johnny Benson directly in front. And you're right, this has been going on for 3 or 4 laps. And no one can get the advantage. Joe Ruttman about to lose a spot. I tell you, Joe, you better get on the phone, call somebody.
That's Waltrip on the bottom. Now, 1-800-COLLECT deal, Joe tells me, is the first real sponsorship that they've had this year, the first real national sponsorship. They had a Coke deal, of course, but that was kind of regional bottlers all around, and there's been so much fuss over Ernie Irvin that Joe almost feels like the guy left out in that deal, but he's having a heck of a race with Waltrip.
He is having a heck of a race. Darrell thought he was clear of him. I thought he was clear.
So it's Spotter.
Yeah.
It's Darrell's radio you're hearing occasionally in the background. Talk, guys. We're giving you an opportunity to be on national television. Say something.
Say something.
Don't wreck, Darrell.
Yeah.
seconds behind the leader.
They're low.
You get any fix on what's going on?
You're all clear.
Truck there while he's going backward.
Well, he's going up the racetrack, and I don't know if he's chasing the back of the truck, just pushing up there. What's going on with Joe Ruttman, Marty?
Well, Benny, it's one of those situations where as each lap goes by, the truck is getting more loose. That's what he's told the team. He says the back end wants to keep coming around. And up here on Richmond's high bank, that ain't going to work.
Well, that's why he's going up the hill to catch the back of the truck. He's afraid if he turns the truck to go to the bottom of the racetrack, that it'll spin. And that's got pretty good trouble over it, too. And that's the greatest thing. There we see Jimmy, the crew chief, clocking the truck. And that's the greatest thing about Richmond and how wide it is. If the truck isn't just right, you can move up. And we can see how he's moved up right to the top of the racetrack, trying to catch that green racetrack, the track that the trucks haven't run on yet.
Ruttman showing 7 behind Waltrip and Schrader, who are actually now flip-flopping when that order was created, because as you can see, Schrader right there in front of Ruttman, and Darrell's on up the road 3 or 4 truck lengths. So much fuss about the 84 truck because that is the truck that Ernie Irvin is slated to drive, assuming he gets his medical clearance and it comes back first in a truck and then perhaps eventually in Winston Cup.
Well, it won't be the 84. It'll be a teammate to the 84. It will be one just like the 84. So Ruttman will continue to run the entire circuit this year. And there we see the leader, Jeff Bodine, the X-Side truck. That 5 truck is Terry Labonte. And here we see that Skinner in the 3 truck has caught them.
That's Brevac, lap truck, and Skinner moves by him with ease. Coming with him, well, let's see, Chase the lap down.
That's right, Chase's the lap down.
Is the next guy in line. That's the red 16. This time your picture. A lot of traffic up there. That's always a big issue. Any short track, especially, I guess, Richmond. But here, there's room to get around them. Room to work through.
We see Skinner, as you said, has won 6 times this year. Let us see Walker Evans with 20 trucks as they go by.
Walker's been a busy boy. This is his 4th truck race in 8 days as we follow Corelli and Sprague up through the traffic, working there with Hermie Sampler, the double 0. Corelli didn't qualify very well here, but...
Hey, looky there. Colt got by the 75 and the 18. He's on a march now.
That boy's had an up and down Winston Cup season. Well, Labonte getting frisky here with Bodine. Tired of looking at the tail end of that X-Side Ford. Says, let's get some Chevrolet laps on the board here. But he didn't make a real serious run at it.
No, he took a look.
First time they ran these trucks in full-scale tour competition out at Phoenix, Labonte almost won the thing. He should have didn't. Ended up
Skinner won the thing.
On a pretty spectacular last lap race with Skinner. But unlike a lot of these guys, when I asked him about it before the race, he said, "This ain't for me. I'm glad I'm not going to be a truck racer."
Hey, look here, Hornaday was trying to get by Skinner, and there we see Schrader has gotten by Ruttman.
So Ruttman struggling here. 2nd ranked in the standings. This is probably the best race on the racetrack right now. Hornaday doesn't want to follow Skinner, does he?
No, sir. He's right on the inside, and Darrell Walton's going to try to follow. Can he get alongside before Skinner comes down? No. Couldn't do it.
I'll beat that fender off that thing, Darrell, if you stick it up there.
Inside, Darrell.
Hello.
Coach Glamble watching all that and said, boy, these fellas play rough.
Yeah.
Kind of like them big football players play a little rough.
A linebacker out of these boys. And, you know, you watch them bend in that sheet metal, but it's how deftly they do it. It's not really a hit. It's just a touch. It's just a little...
Just a touch. There's Kenny Allen, the onset car, being lapped by Bodine. And we see the 5 Labonte. Oh, the 3 abreast. There's Bob Straight gets right in the middle. And luckily, Allen gave the leader, Jeff Bodine, some room. And now Labonte's hung, and he's at the 16. Here comes Hornaday. It ain't going to fit, boys.
Hornaday had to do a little open field running to dart through that hole. And he ready to challenge Labonte as they finally break clear of the traffic here once they get around Kenny Allen in the 65. Kenny raced them pretty hard. I don't get to do this all the time, boys.
Oh, we thought that was on the other spin. We did. Todd Matthews saved it coming off turn 4. And we see Skinner and Darrell Waltrip. So all those cars, Waltrip trucks, Waltrip and the 52 of Schrader, they caught this leader, the group of leaders. I don't know if it's traffic or they're that much faster. Here goes Hornaday, trying.
That may be his best truck out there. He's good into 3.
He really is good. We can see these guys talk about big brakes. The next time we get that camera in turn 3, watch the nose of those trucks really dip as they slam on the brakes. And Labonte's going to, well, he's going to drive back.
Hornaday's really looking good. A, it's fast. B, it stops good. And C, he's using a line that covers a lot of racetracks.
Watch this when they go and see how the nose just drops when they slam on the brakes going in the corner.
And then right here, you got to be back on the gas. Make that straightaway as long as you can. Hornaday's doing it great. We'll be back to see if he can win it. Need you to rearrange your Sunday night viewing habits from now on and forevermore. 8 o'clock Eastern time. We want you tuned to ESPN2. My new main man, Kenny Maine's got RPM tonight. It is the definitive motorsports news show covering everything that happens in the world of motorsports. Kicked off last Sunday night. They got the champagne and the whole deal. Now it's working for a living from now on. We're going to be watching it, man. Make sure you do this deal right. Hi, Benson. Now, do not be confused. This is not Jeff Bodine leading Labonte. We've seen that scene most of the way. That's the 24 truck of Scott Lagacy with the same paint job as Labonte. And the guy in that red and white number 16 may be the most ferocious cat out there right now. That is Hornaday. Swooping through the traffic. There is the number 5 of Labonte. He's now 3rd.
We saw Tommy Archer in the Minnesota truck. And there we see Darrell Waltrip has been able to get by Mike Skinner.
Schrader, the 3rd truck in that line. Darrell's looking pretty good here for his first oval race in the truck.
Running 4th right now. Skinner is 5th and Schrader is 6th. Schrader's trying to contest that 4th place, though. Man, what a lot of traffic.
Darrell up from 10th, having a good run here. He's gotten around Skinner, and that's not easy to do. See what the spotter tells him about the traffic.
We've got about a little over 15 laps to go before the middle of the race, and there's some cars like Butch Miller trucks that really need to pick it up and stay in the lead lap so they can adjust these things, because, hey, they can go in and adjust and make their truck perfect at that break. They got 5 minutes to do anything they want to.
If you're new to this deal, recess after the halfway point, a cost-saving measure in truck racing.
I thought Schrader had Skinner there for a minute.
I thought for a minute he was going to wreck it, too. He got a little juice up there on the gray stuff. Take a 5-minute break. They can change anything on the truck, except perhaps the driver. Come back with a crashed vehicle for 75 laps to decide if you're exactly right about Butch Miller. There's Archer in that red truck with the Minnesota paint job on the side. We thought he was going to be a series regular, but he's only made 3 starts this year. And his brother is out in the truck racing business completely now.
43 goes up and Skinner dives underneath him.
Skinner has really been a powerhouse. The Dale Earnhardt colors. Richard Childress owns that truck, and when they announced that they were going to go truck racing, everybody knew they would be a force to be reckoned with. I'm not sure we were prepared for 9 poles, 6 wins, the kind of dominance that we've seen. Not necessarily the point standings.
And, you know, Richard just kind of left this thing up to Will Lynn, Rich Burgess, and the crew, Eddie Lanier, that built the engine so long for Earnhardt and winning the championship, retired from building the engines for the Winston Cup car, but he does build the 9.5-1 engines for this Super Truck, and so obviously doing a great job.
There's Benson, Sedgwick, 1875. That's been going on for a while, hasn't it?
It has. Sedgwick built it on the outside. That's Sedgwick in the 75 as we look back from the onboard camera, the precision gear camera.
That's how big Richmond is right there.
And Benson, something happened to Benson.
What happened? got no fuel pressure. It's just going to burn it up. Is it Vincent? Is it still running? It's still running, but either I keep running and blow it up or we stop. But tell me what you want. Okay, you got still fuel pressure on the gauge, but it's not misfiring. It's doing both. I'll go. How many more laps to halfway? Just a second, John. We got 10 more laps to halfway. Maybe you want to nurse it. We'll get a fuel pump ready to put on.
No fuel pressure.
Okay, John, the leader is a straightaway back. Hang on, he's a straightaway back.
You may try to stay on the lead lap. I don't think he can do that for 10 laps.
This is the same motor that's always had fuel pressure problems. Might be the fuel lines or something. I don't know.
Could be a bad gauge, but again, Benson, does not want to take the chance because it's about a $35,000 gamble if he's incorrect.
Don't want to blow the motor.
But he
We'll keep an eye on
out.
that. He's going to get a break because we've got a yellow flag. What is that, the 4th of the night? And
Anyway, so we don't get loud.
yeah, you hear Benson's crew talking him through this. Apparently there's some oil up in turn 3 for the 4th caution of the night, and that will let Benson fly away a few of these laps of the yellow.
Put on it, we can get it filled back up and see if that helps. It started missing a while ago, and I couldn't figure it out. All the gauges look good, except for the fuel pressure. I mean, I got 6 pounds now. Under green flag, I got as high as 3-0 down the straightaway.
Could be a pickup problem, too. There's something wrong with the pickup in the fuel tank, so we'll find out.
Frustrating for Benson, who's been in contention in a couple of these truck races. He's a good young truck racer. We're back. We have 18 trucks on the lead lap, and there you see the top 15 of them, led by Jeff Bodine, leading the truck race for the first time here, although he came close to leading at Indianapolis right before the truck swapped in and slapped the wall. We got about as close to the lead as you can get.
You're such a nice guy. You had to bring that up, didn't you?
Well, it was spectacular, and you saw it here live. Who is this guy? I thought he was out there driving.
They got him in the grandstand. Hey, folks.
Have a cornflake.
That's a pretty good picture, isn't it?
It really is. It really is, yeah. I'll tell you what, race fans are fanatics, and we got a ton of them here tonight. What do you reckon, Forrest? It's 40,000 maybe?
I would think 45,000 people here tonight. Great crowd to watch the super trucks. And I tell you, I don't think they're going to be disappointed.
It's a triple header weekend, of course, with the Busch Grand National cars running here tomorrow night, Winston Cup cars on Saturday night. So there's a whole lot of racing and shaking going on at Richmond International.
Precision Gear, you see the sponsor on this Johnny Benson truck. They make ring and pinions, for the gears in the cars. Also, Detroit, they're distributor for the locker units in the back.
So what's up with this camber deal now? I heard some trucks had camber trouble here.
18 trucks were unable to get through the inspection as they were because of camber problems.
You have 4 seconds to finish your explanation. We'll be right back. Jeff Gordon, Winston Cup point leader, coming up next on Shop Talk. You were supposed to see that right after the Darlington race. It took him so long to win Darlington that you didn't get to see it then, so you will see it tonight here on ESPN 2. Momentarily, you will see the fall of the green flag as Jeff Bodine comes off turn 4 with Hornaday all over it. We're racing again live at Richmond.
And Hornaday caught on the outside of Waddell. He is able to get by, but he's right on the back bumper of Jeff Bodine.
Wants to get that halfway money.
Man, oh man.
Those who are not mathematically prepared will probably realize this is just half the halfway point. But yellow, right?
Got to put under the green flag, and you see, look at the traffic coming off. There's a 24, that's Legacy. Darrell Walker, Ben Skinner, Rader, and there's Rutman.
And that's all for position. Meanwhile, Benson with the fuel problem, whatever it may be, trying to hang on to his lap and momentarily jump on board the 84 truck there of Rutman. Here are your leaders. Hornaday's got a notion.
And I think he's, oh no, he ran over the apron of the racetrack to keep them in the 7th, and they'll get the caution the next time by. And we'll see who's going to be leading.
Jeff wasn't born yesterday. We knew Hornaday was good into 3. I was surprised he tried it in 1, but I guess he figured he was going to need that long to get it done. They will come to the caution with Bo Nye showing the way by 2 truck lengths over Hornaday, who is 3rd ranked in the series. They'll take a 5-minute break, during which Marty Reed will earn his money, and then they will restart this race. Let's give a listen to Benson's guy.
When you see a leader down on pit road, I'm not sure if it's supposed to wait for the pace truck or not.
Okay, the pace truck has got the leader. I'll tell you if I see him coming this way, buddy.
They're trying to get every moment, every second they can to work on the truck. And yes, the pace truck is coming down. Pace truck is bringing the field down pit road.
Yeah, they're coming down pit road, John.
Benson certainly doesn't want to do anything that will violate the rules and get him in trouble, working as hard as he did here to save his lap. All the trucks are on pit road. Marty Reed will be a hustling guy when we come back here, covering the 5-minute break as they try to shape these trucks for the second half of this 150-lap battle. We'll be right back. Back live at Richmond, take a look at your running order. Hornaday has been perhaps the fastest truck out there. Waltrip's moved up nicely, so too Kenny Schrader up to 6th spot. Ruttman's been going backwards. We'll try to find out what that's all about. Take on back through the field. Johnny Benson currently in 14th spot. That fuel pickup or perhaps fuel pressure problem to be addressed here during the 5-minute break. Portengay rounds out your top 15. There's the rest of, how about Butch? Butch Miller qualified 23rd, crashed first lap, tore the truck all up, and he's still up to 17th.
And still in the lead lap. That's the key thing.
Further on back, take you back through the rest of the field. Now, what happens next is Benny and I go cop a hot dog, and we turn the show over to Marty Reed, and he runs up and down pit road like a crazy person. Marty, you ready, buddy? Take a deep breath and have at it. It's your television show.
Thanks, guys. Track shoes are on. You're taking a look at Joe Ruttman's truck. They're making major adjustments. They just put the tires back on, the fresh ones. They made the back end hopefully a little bit tighter. Remember, he was loose. Here is Jeff Bodine doing his radio interview. That truck is A-OK. They're doing fine. But come on with me. Second place, Hornaday's got the hood up, and he is looking like we've got some smoke, and they are looking for something that possibly could be leaking. Let me see if I can poke in here real quick, find out what's happening. Ron, we see the fact that the hood is up. Anything wrong underneath there that you need to worry about?
Just trying to get some extra coolant under the Papa John Chevrolet. You know, the guy's done a great job with this truck. We'll just see what we can do for him the second half.
Any other adjustments you're going to make? Was it getting a little loose there at the end?
We're just going to make a tire pressure adjustment. You know, Dale's up there the first time in the Super Truck race. Going to say hi to them and my kids at home. But no, we're not making too much of the tire pressure adjustment. We'll see what we got for him in the second half.
Okay, now let's move further back into the line because we'll try and update you on a few others. Johnny Benson's team, they're working on the truck here. You know, we talked and overheard them talking about possibly changing the fuel cell. They can't possibly do that, nor the filter or anything else. What they're going to do is fill the tank back up. They think it might be a pickup problem. They're going to keep their fingers crossed that it's going to go that way. Let's get in here and see if we can get word with Johnny now that the crew's out of the way. Johnny, how serious? We've been listening on the radio, so we know what's been going on. How much confidence do you have in this truck right now?
I'm not sure. We're fighting a fuel pressure problem, but I guess we'll find out. I don't know. We're just checking the filter. We ain't got enough time to change the pump.
So you got it there. They're going to have to go to work and get the tires off, so we're going to move on further down. Mike Skinner, of course, he came up and then started to back up. So let's see, and they've got the hood up as well. So the guys on the crew are working. Let me see if I can poke my head in here real quick. Rich Burgess and the guy up, and they're saying they need him in. That's the first time they've turned us down all season long, so that means they've got a bit of a problem. Anybody else you want to talk about right now, guys? I think the guy to watch in the second half may be Kenny Schrader. I don't know about you. He started 15th. I think he's running 6th.
Marty, right behind you. Grab Childers, right behind you. Ask him what's going on.
Oh, well, he's still in. They've got their head in there, and I'll tell you what. Richard?
He don't know what's going on.
Marty, Benny's going to get you in trouble.
Richard, what about the truck? This is the first time that the guys have ever turned us down on one of these quick breaks.
Well, we're just trying to talk it over. You know, we're not sure which way we want to go here. You know, the truck's got a bad push in the middle, and then when it gets turned, it's loose getting off. So we're just trying to decide which way we want to go here.
Well, so now we got at least to talk to the team owner, Mike. The guys, I mean, this is serious stuff. They want to win this race, and obviously it's a little worse than they're probably letting on because they've never had this big a powwow during this 5-minute break. Guys, they're firing them up, getting ready to put them back out. I think it's time for me to take a break.
He did pretty good.
He did pretty good. I'm impressed. I am impressed.
He earned his money. Well, is it pushing or is it loose? We'll find out when we come back. Scene in Richmond, trucks lined up on the backstretch. The last 2 or 3 trucks are firing up over on pit road and moving into position. And getting ready to restart for the second half on the FasMart 150. Stay tuned. Trucks are rolling at Richmond International Raceway, getting ready for the restart. Meanwhile, in the open wheel wars, we've got the Formula One GP of Italy. Yes, that is a large one. The defending champion, Damon Hill, looking to get back into the points race on Sunday morning at 8:50 a.m. A little later in the day, they got the Indy cars running the Toyota Grand Prix Bank of America race out at Laguna Seca. Paul Tracy is going for his 3rd consecutive win in that race. He would become only the 2nd driver in history to win 3 in a row at Laguna Seca. Good luck, Paul. That'll be at 4 o'clock Eastern time on Sunday afternoon.
The Grand Prix of Italy, as we watch the field summary, you know, when Johnny Herbert won the Formula One race in England, and all those people went nuts and waving their Union Jacks and all that. Imagine in Italy if a Ferrari would win. Man, they'd be mad at it.
It would be a major, major deal. It's been a lot of years since that happened, too. On down through the tail end of the field there, I don't see anybody who really jumps out at. How about this Harefield guy now? He's a local boy who's really picked out this truck deal. What do we got here? Push trucks, push trucks. It's just like sprint cars on Thursday Thunder. That's straight, getting the shove, getting rolling. He's got the field there.
I got to say hello.
28th or something.
Bob Strait will me say hello to a guy.
Well, you better do it.
Rocky Quick. Ponton. Was that how you pronounce that?
I guess.
They all wanted to wish him a speedy recovery. He's recovering from bone marrow transplant.
There's some
in the Chicagoland area. So,
All right, Rocky, we're
Mike
on
Chase
for you, buddy. Mike Chase in his 2nd appearance in this truck. P.J. Jones is out. Mike Chase is in. It's not good when they're pushing your truck backwards and the rest of the field is coming down getting the one-to-go sign.
And we can see all the water in his pit area. So they've been working on that car. It looks like something's been hot.
It had to come from somewhere, didn't it?
And I see that someone is running the back of the truck. Did this just happen? But it happened before. Okay. Okay, so he had to have the truck push started and he came in. So
reckon they did all that damage pushing it?
Well, hope not. We better hustle because they're going to throw the green in about a half lap.
Whatever they're going to do, they better do it quick. Well, the interesting situation here is going to be Hornaday, I think. A little air pressure adjustment, and the other one is going to be Skinner. That black 3 going by on the outside as you watch the field come streaming by. The lap truck's down on the inside. There was a major powwow at Skinner's place during the break, and they were not in a chit-chatty mood because they were having a hard time deciding between tight and loose. When your car is both at the same time, the chassis adjustment is a little difficult to figure out. We're ready to get back at it, ladies and gentlemen. The green is out at Richmond International Raceway.
Ooh, and Hornaday's already on the inside. 509 and takes the lead. Coming off 2 is Hornaday in the lead.
I reckon they got it right, huh?
I guess they did.
Or Hornaday ain't waiting to find out if it's wrong.
Man, he dove on the inside now, then 09. This is the first time that we've seen a truck all night that is faster than his. Can he come back?
He did good on the restarts, too, and Hornaday knew it. And he jumped him when they went green. It was a beautiful pass going into turn 1. Hornaday, the leader for the first time tonight. 09 is all over him in 2nd spot. There's Terry Labonte running 3rd. He started on the pole. Lurking in 3rd.
09 trying to get under him. Trying. He knows he needs to do it now as quick as he can because he looks in the mirror and here comes Labonte.
Bit of a gap back to...
Oh, they got a spin. 40 gate right in front of the field and the 34 Bree back is spun.
To miss what he thought was going to be. What was it you said here a couple of weeks ago? He was trying to avoid the wreck and he became the wreck.
Yeah.
I thought that was your best line all year. They both got tangled. We'll see how it came about there. There is Bree back, getting back up to speed. Benny, see if you can spot him here.
Let's see, he's the black truck, and he comes down, tries to get under someone. He turns right in front of the 11. That's Chad Little. They make contact, and right here, I'm getting nervous. I'm getting real nervous, and he stopped backing up just in time.
When you are sideways, driver's side facing the rest of the field, that is a scary moment. 5th caution of the night for Porton Gay. Let's go to Marty Reed.
Yeah, Mike Chase has got a big problem. When they had that contact, it cut the battery cable. That's what they're trying to fix. It's created an electrical problem. Just shut the truck off, and they are struggling to try and get this thing back into the contest.
I was scared he was going to say broke the battery, but thank goodness he said he cut the battery cable.
The diehard folks will be very pleased about that first event. So, we have a new leader here in the truck race. Hornaday has led 10 races this season, including this one, and is a force to be reckoned with in terms of the championship. He is 94 points behind Skinner in the standings, and he is 4 positions ahead of Skinner tonight on the racetrack. And you can bet that Bodine will be all over him. He's got a little donut on the side of that 16. He worked it a little bit coming up through the traffic.
Well, I think he touched that 7 truck, that Excite truck down in turn 1. I think they went like that. I guess we can't. I should have clapped in front of my microphone so the folks at home would know what I was talking about.
Well, I got the picture.
They smacked one another down in the corner.
Yeah. Waltrip's 4th and having a pretty good go here. Well, he was 10th, I believe, in qualifying. So, after an action-packed restart, I'm going to set him back to green and see whether Hornaday's as good as he appeared there.
You know, as people get older, they all get trucks, and Darrell Waltrip's the same way. He gets a little older, got him a truck.
He's moved up 6 spots as we go green with Hornaday the leader for the first time. Let's see if he can hang on.
Oh, Dine's on a tough break there. He's got to pass the 38 on the outside. Meanwhile, Hornaday saying, I'll see you. Well, he's not going to pass on the outside either.
Gonna wait for Swindell to slip up the racetrack, and Bodine's going to go underneath him. Flat traffic factor here.
Oh, and Nemechek just kind of knocked the 38 up out of the way. Darrell Waltrip, and there we see Skinner on the inside. Schrader.
Skinner.
Now look at Bodine. Look how easily that he caught the 16. He's going to try it on the inside, and yes, it's Bodine back in front.
The battle of the brakes goes to Bodine right at the spot where we commented that Hornaday had been so strong all evening. That might bode well for Bodine.
And there we see Schrader on the inside, taking a look, couldn't make it. The 87, the silver truck, is John Nemechek. That's Joe's little brother.
Rudman is the next truck behind him, and perhaps has not gotten dramatically better after the break. He's still at 6th or 7th. Started 2nd, went backward quickly. Apparently has not gotten a lot better during the break, and is currently in 7th spot, though 2nd in the point standings.
He's trying to get on the inside of the 87. Oh, and the 24 truck spun and out of the world. I thought they'd all missed him, but they didn't.
That was a major hit, too.
It was. And see, Butch Miller's involved.
Scott Lagasse got turned sideways on the backstretch and then got hit a ton. And there you see the damage to Miller.
Looked like Butch is the guy that did all the most of the hitting.
See them both moving around in there. That's good.
Some pretty heavy damage to the Rebestas truck.
Yeah. They got tangled big time, and then after Lagasse got set, exactly what you were talking about here on the front straightaway, that scary moment when you know there are a lot of trucks coming and you're sideways in the racetrack, and that's how the front got ripped off. The thing is, Lagasse took a big hit after the fact.
Go back over to the other truck, to the Lagasse truck. What's that in the front?
See Miller moving around in there.
What's that stuck in the front of the 24 truck? Is that? Oh, that's the nose of the truck. I thought it was roll bars out of something, but it's just
it looks like it, doesn't it? Yeah.
It's just a grill piece out of this truck.
Those are the headlights facing you, Benny. You know you hurt your truck when it's facing the wrong direction. The headlights are still pointing at you.
Let's see if we can figure out what happened. There we see Lagasse makes contact. He comes down and spins. The 30 truck goes on the inside, just misses him. And look at all that traffic behind that goes by with Sprague. Almost made it. And the Walker Evans comes along, hits him, and boom, into him goes the 98 of Butch Miller.
Here's the impact from Walker Evans.
Oh,
picked that truck right up off the ground.
I'll tell you what, Scott Lagacy's neck is going to be sore tomorrow. We see the gasoline coming out, so.
Second wreck of the night for Butch Miller, who's had a frustrating evening. We had commented on how well he was doing under the circumstances. There's Butch out to take a look at it.
Uh-oh, he said, uh-oh.
We heard it. Big blow for his championship hopes. He was fourth, 127 points out. And here is Scott Lagacy in the Jeff Gordon look-alike costume, the road racer, who finds out just how tough oval racing can be here tonight.
Man, that was a tough lick.
Beat her up on both ends. It's about as hard as you want to get hit right there.
Mm-hmm. We have a stationary camera back coming off the turn 2. Let's see if we can see what happens. There we see Lagacy.
He get touched there.
It looked like he might have gotten touched by someone. He gets out of shape, and that started the spin. And then we'll continue on, and this is the spin. And he goes around, and Setzer does a big job. Good job getting by. And the 25 truck looks like he's going straight towards him, and he, at the last instant, dodges. And Walker Evans, I think his view was blocked by the 25. He doesn't see him.
Walker didn't see him.
And banged into him, and the 98 looked like he was going on the inside, and all of a sudden that Walker Evans knocked the 24 truck right in the path of the 98 truck.
That's only the second time this year that Butch Miller has failed to finish one of these things. Remember how we joked early that he was third every time? Hello, cutie. Nice to see the kids come out. Richmond International Raceway. We'll be right back. Back at Richmond International Raceway, ESPN 2. We are live. We are under yellow. And we'll probably take one more look at the reason why.
We had a wreck, folks. A huge wreck. A large wreck.
When bad things happen to good people, they happen in a hurry. Is this going to be the real timer? Yeah. He just about had time to think, man, maybe I'm not going to get. And then he got hit.
Yeah. And then he got hit twice. And we see Hermie Sadler, thanks to Emporia, Virginia, on the back of that truck.
And Sadler's 16th in the order.
And they're doing something to the left rear, and the right front is missing on that truck.
One of the big advantages, look at the left side of your screen, big advantage of truck racing. When you do wreck your truck, you have a place to load all the scrap to haul it back to the garage.
On the bed of the truck, yeah.
Actually, I think the back is the scrap. There's not much left on that.
No, there isn't. Now, they can take that back to Liberty Ford up in Cleveland, Ohio, and there, the left rear tire, they're running that poor rim. Here's the top 15. We see Sprague that just missed. The accident is in 15th spot. Todd Bodine in Jack Roush's truck in 8th place. I don't think we've talked too much about Todd.
He had a call. He's, you know, those guys are going to be serious about anything they do. The Roush crew will announce a three-car lineup for Winston Cup next year. Morton Gay is the last truck on the lead lap despite his recent spin. You saw Sadler just now in the pits. And then all the guys who have gone one lap down. Any particular notables among that?
And we see,
looks like a pretty...
Todd Massey, a couple of laps down, and Tommy Archer, 3. Butch Miller, we see, is 5, but how many ever laps we have to go, that will continue to grow.
Kinder was the first truck out, and up until this wreck, I believe the only truck out of the event, although T.J. Clark had gone 22 laps down. Now they'll clean up the debris.
Isn't this a beautiful racetrack?
Fantastic place.
The Sawyers have done a magnificent job here.
Well, Paul tells some great stories. Paul's been a promoter for about 100 years now. He tells some great stories about going out in the field with the tickets in a suitcase and sell the tickets, and get your purse, and pay the money, and everybody goes home happy.
There it is, the 3/4-mile Richmond International Raceway.
And it is full of folks tonight for the truck race. We'll take a break with Bodine and Hornaday shaping up as a 2-truck shootout. We're back at Richmond, continuing track cleanup, circulating under the yellow flag. Tonight's coverage being brought to you by Goodyear, #1 in tires. And, of course, by the good people at Wolverine Dura Shocks. Check out that slogan. Guaranteed to be the world's most comfortable boots, or your money back. I wish I'd written that. Work like hell, feel like heaven. That's good. I like that.
You must be out of Michigan, huh?
I reckon.
Guess what? We're going to see more action in just a second. Are you ready?
Yeah, I got my 50 cents. You got your 50 cents. Who's going to win this, Bodine or Hornaday?
Bodine, I think. Well, I think they made him a little mad when they passed him a while ago.
Hornaday come by him like Jack the Bear, and Bodine said, no thank you to that. Came back and passed him back, and now sits on the point as the face truck pulls in, and we get set to go back to green. The blue and black number 7 of Bodine shows the way on lap 95. 65 to go. Hornaday wants a piece on the outside. It's the long round.
And Bodine gives him room.
He did. Great thing is real narrow.
And he knows that it's awfully long out there. And now the 16's going to try it on the inside. But can he outrun that 4 down the straightaway? And we see that the 38 and the 87 Nemechek and Swindell has Labonte hung behind him, and he just can't get by them. And look at Skinner and 52 Schrader.
Waltrip's just in front of them, trying third.
There's Rudman.
Rudman alongside Schrader. Will that work? Ought to be all right.
I don't know.
What is that, 5th, 6th?
He's got Schrader hung behind Nemechek.
And here's what it looks like if you're in the middle of it. From Rudman's truck.
800 collect.
Call me an army.
Yeah. Get some help quick.
Looking back at Schrader. Again, coming up alongside Nemechek, the lap truck. There we go, Clapper. Let's go to Marty Reed. Here's Butch Miller. Marty.
We're glad to see, Butch Miller, that you're okay. The truck is hurt pretty bad.
It's hurt real bad. You know, we crushed for Ray Bestman's side, no doubt about it. Mom, I'm okay. You got to know that.
You guys were going to try and get back in, but it doesn't look like you can.
Well, we've broken the motor mounts and we've broken the oil lines, and it's just not looking good for getting back out there. But I've got a great crew. It's a great team. We're going to do everything we can to get back out and run a couple more laps for points.
Oh, we've got another spin out there, guys? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Oh, no. Oh, no. He just did a 360, kept on going. No problem. Everything's okay, Marty.
Coach just showing off. 23rd spot, no harm done. This is the race, and it's a good one.
And I think Rudman's truck is better. I think they made some adjustments, and here's Skinner on the inside of DW trying to take that spot away, and here comes Rudman trying to follow him.
Just to finish the Miller story, he has not had a top 5 finish since he won the race at Denver back in July. He wanted to win one so bad, he won one, hadn't had a top 5 since.
Schrader just could not get on the inside of DW. Now here's the coach, Coach Glanville. Uh-oh, what happened there? Here we go.
That was free. We didn't charge you extra for that. Well, he can't blame anybody else.
Coach gets down in the grass, does a good job saving it. The nose points forward. He lets off the brakes, puts it in gear, says, okay.
The proverbial nice piece of drive. This should be 5th and 6th. And Schrader has a notion.
He has a position, too.
There you go. If you're fast through the middle of the corner, it'll pay off on the straightaway for 6th spot.
And Labonte goes by Hornaday. Does Hornaday have a problem? Because Labonte made that pass so easy.
These guys are side by side for 6th. Meanwhile, that is a major development up front because Hornaday looked like the man who could do battle with the leader, Bodine. And now suddenly he has slipped to 3rd. That's a good fight right here.
Here's a good fight. Looks like the Schrader has the spot.
Let's go to Marty with the other guy involved in that big wreck. Marty.
Well, guys, I hate to say this. I think you probably had a better view of what happened in that crash than Scott Lagasse. It's great to see that you're okay. Take us through what you know.
Well, thank you, Marty. It's pretty tight racing coming up off of 2 over there. We got a little tap from somebody, started us going back and forth. I got it gathered up and just got it turned around on the middle straightaway. A couple of trucks got into us, so I don't know. It was almost short night for the DuPont 24 truck, and I hate it for Jeff and Rick, the whole team, but hey, we'll keep coming back.
About the only thing I can say on the positive side, guys, is that Jeff Gordon left before the crash. He doesn't know it's been hurt.
And here we go for the lead. Labonte has caught Jeff Bodine, and he clearly has the fastest truck right now.
So Bodine has a challenge, perhaps not the one he expected. Labonte is a salty dog, and especially on this racetrack. He's won the last 2 Winston Cup races here.
Where did he come from? I mean, I thought he was out of it, and all of a sudden, it's like he put in a different gear.
Reminds you of Bristol, perhaps?
Yeah.
Kind of the same thing there.
Maybe put in the winning gear, huh?
Yeah. Just kind of emerges. The high-end man, they call him.
He's on the inside. He's trying to take a look. Bodine comes down, and that was close, ladies and gentlemen, and now here he does come.
Oh, look at that. That's like surgery.
Tell me, is that beautiful or what?
He set that up so nice. Going in, I thought he was going to wait a lap. Just now, just drive by old Bodine here. Lead this thing again. The pole sitter is back on top, and I'll tell you who else is cooking out there. It's Todd Bodine. He's up to 7. Doing a nice job with that number 61 Roush Racing truck. I'm sure we'll get another look at him. Let's see if this got Bodine mad again so he can stop back up there. Trouble on the backstretch. Number 65 would be Kenny Allen, who had taken pretty good care of that truck all night.
Now Kenny, don't back up in front of somebody now.
He'd gotten a lap down in 24th spot, was pretty much stayed out of trouble until he brought out the 7th caution of the night.
And we can see some pretty heavy damage to the front of that truck. Onsat is a TV guy.
All right, he's listening to you. He didn't do anything dumb there.
Yeah, good. Let's see if we can tell what happened. Man, this is a real gaggle of cars. If you ever see Rodney Combs, that's a green car, and he goes up and just gets a little bit of a tap from Bill Sedgwick. And Sedgwick goes down and just
underneath him. That was close.
I guess he caught the nose of the truck as he went by.
In fact, he was trying to avoid something he thought was going to happen in front of him and ended up with a bent nose for his trouble on one of the 20 Chevrolets in the lineup here this evening. He had been running in, I've lost him, 23rd spot. We'll be right back. We're back at Richmond with a lap to go. We gave you a little preview of this earlier. We'll give you the full details. Baseball Across America coming up at 10:30. Now, that may be next at the rate we're going here because this thing is tending to run a little long. It's minor league playoffs. The Portland Sea Dogs, that's Benny's favorite team, and they have already clinched first place in the Northern Division with a record of 83-55, and we are so proud of them. And they're taking on the New Haven Ravens. They've got a nice ring to it.
Portland Sea, is that Portland, Maine?
I have no idea. That's Portland. Don't ask hard questions. I'm being assured that it is Portland, Maine.
The Sea Dogs, huh?
10:30.
And the New Haven Ravens.
New Haven Ravens.
Rhymes anyway.
Now, who pitted here? We had the number 30 Dodge in there. Dennis Setzer pitted out of, I believe, 7th spot, and the hood went up, and he's going to be about 14th. Well, he'd be 14th if he weren't in the garage area. Since he's in the garage area, his chances will be hurt dramatically. 75 is also on pit road. That's Bill Sedgwick, who's kind of struggled here this evening, and they've got the hood up on that truck.
Yep.
So the Spears Ford entry, no, it's a Chevrolet. Yep. Is in trouble. We're about to go back to green.
Now then, Jeff Bodine has been getting a good jump on the restarts. When we have cold tires or the tires get a chance to cool off, is he going to have a chance to get by Labonte? Uh-oh, we got a tough break. But John Nemechek has got Bodine on the outside, and that's tough.
Martin had a notion down there on the inside for a minute. But now he's got Nemechek to deal with. Bodine is loose of him, and Labonte's looking in his mirror saying, attaboy, stay in their way. Let me get away here.
Oh, and received Rutland and Schrader heading for the same spot. They worked it out.
This is on board with Rutland. I reckon Schrader's behind him, huh?
I guess he is. Either that or he spun down that corner. There was no caution, so I guess he's behind him. Yep, there's Schrader.
Schrader's the 52, the red, white, blue truck. Chasing the black 84. Joe Rutland. All the fuss about his truck owner, Ernie Irvin, who will have a press conference on September 19th.
Oh, and there goes Schrader trying to get on the inside.
Getting that little tap just to let him know he was coming, and swung down the inside. Press conference will be on September 19th, do I have that right?
Yep.
About what Ernie Irvin's plans will be for the remainder of this season or perhaps next year. In the middle of all that, Joe Rutland is saying, guys, I don't want to make too much of a fuss about it, but we do still have a chance to win this championship here because we're 6 points out. Unfortunately, tonight he has struggled a bit. He's chasing Skinner.
And here comes Rutland trying to get on the inside. That's Chad Little on the outside. The 11 truck, and he is a lap down.
He's doing all right to us. His first truck a lap down, and he is 16th on the field. So he's doing pretty well. The second-ranked driver in BGN.
And we see that the 32 truck of Derek Cope trying to get to the front.
That's Benson he's racing with, and that truck seems to be working. He is 10th. Up on the outside there, Mike Bliss.
And Bliss, that's a poor position, and Bliss takes it away from Benson.
We haven't given Mike Bliss a call here tonight. He didn't qualify very well. He hasn't taken it back yet, has
No, he hasn't taken it back yet.
I would say that is still under debate.
Yes, they're debating that pretty heavily down the back straightaway.
Debate right up into the back of the show here. Who else is back that we haven't given a call? Pirelli.
Yes.
He's been a contender in most of these things. He was the one who tapped Hornaday and got him sideways across the finish line in the last race at Flemington. He's 13th tonight. Not so hot for the high plains drifter. Bliss started 19th. He's doing pretty well. He's up to 10th.
The 30 truck has dropped the valve, so Dennis Setzer is out for the evening. And the 75 of Sedgwick is overheating, I'm told. And there goes Bliss trying to get by Benson. How many laps did he run side by side? 3 now?
Bliss out of Milwaukee, Oregon, now making his home in North Carolina. Committed to NASCAR competition for his future. Likes this truck field. And finally pulls on by Benson and says, I'll take that spot. For the moment. Benson coming right back on the outside. That's a good race.
A great race.
Lap traffic is going to perhaps play a role here. I don't know. We got some trouble.
Oh, and Nemechek almost crashed.
They're happy to have him out of the way.
Yeah. And Bliss finally has the spot from Benson.
That is the 10th spot. So Bliss is now inside the top 10 after about 5 laps of work to get there. Thursday Thunder, not unlike Jeff Gordon. Perhaps not the meteoric rise to NASCAR fame that we've seen of Gordon, but this is really his first year at it, so a lot of people looking at Mike Bliss and saying, boy, can drive a race car. He's getting the race truck.
Let's see what's happened to Terry Labaki and Bodine. There we are. And we see that Hornaday has almost caught up with Jeff Bodine. That's Papa John's Pizza, the red and white number 16. He's chasing the Exide battery number 7. That's Jeff Bodine. Dave Resendez, Bodine looks like he's lost the handle just a tick.
Horday's up on the outside. Dan drove right alongside him on the outside, going the long way around. He may have called that just right.
That looks like that was a signal from Bodine who's going by on the outside. For him to try that as easily as he did or as quickly as he did, I think that was a signal from Jeff Bodine that said, I can't outrun you. Go ahead on the outside, see if you can catch that 5 because he deserves it.
Do anything with Labonte.
Yep.
This is 4th and 5th. Skinner and Rutland, top 2 drivers in the point standings, racing for 4th here tonight.
Really need to beat him. You're doing a good job. You can do it.
Jimmy, tell him we really need to beat that 3 truck. We've got to start beating him and chasing him to get some points. More points than he is.
46 back. Caution. We got a caution just as Rutland was having a notion. Looks like number 11 may have blown up. Chad Little, just after we bragged about him there, has apparently lost an engine and dropped the yellow and is coasting on the backstretch. Well, that's 2 tough weekends in a row.
Joe, it looks like you're getting through 1 and 2 a lot better.
In terms of his championship hopes. Got crashed there, got blown up tonight. Some weeks are like that, aren't you, Benny? You've been there.
This is part of the Ultra Wheels team. This is one of their trucks, and that ITCO, ITCO, one of the largest distributors of tires and wheels in the world. He said, we want to try that a couple of races, see if we enjoy it. So they borrowed the truck, and there they are. And the 77 truck. Gary St. Amant comes in, some heavy smoke out of that truck.
Like The end of a long day for him, too, perhaps. Looks like a break from him coming out of the ASA ranks. Yeah, I think you're right. Definitely smoking off the right front. We'll take a quick break and come back with more. You want to see racing? You need ESPN 2 at your house, at your neighbor's house. We want everybody in the neighborhood watching. What they say last week in Darlington, many was 500 hours or 700 hours or something like that of motorsports on ESPN 2 next year. I love that stuff.
That's why I have a meeting Tuesday to talk about it with some of my people down there in Cabarrus County.
Benny trying to make a deal. Well, can anybody catch Labonte? We pretty well offered our opinions on Hornaday and Bodine, and then Labonte came up there to make us both look dumb.
Yeah.
He just kind of lurked back in the shadows. I haven't seen anything on that last green flag run to indicate that there's anybody there that can touch him.
Man, I'm telling you, look at those guys all racing for position 1 a lap down, 16th all the way back to like 28th.
And some guys you don't typically expect to see in that group either, notably Rick Corelli a lap down. He just hadn't had much of a night. Keselowski's done pretty well, coming from, what was he, 34th, I think?
Yes, he was.
34th to 22nd, so he got 12 of them out of the way.
Dave, we're about 30 seconds from happiness. We're going to be throwing the green flag. We're going to be racing in just a second.
Drop the rag, and we'll have 22 laps to decide it. Labonte, having started up front, dropped back into the back, sat there, watched the boys play, watched them wreck, figured out what everybody else had, tweaked the truck a little at the halftime break, and now comes back when it matters and said, hey, I'm probably the best guy out here. Hornaday may have something for him. We'll find out as we go back to green. Here they come. Right to the bottom. Hornaday will look up the outside and say, hey, that is a fast truck. Wide, too.
Hornaday needs to get by as quick as he can because it looks like after a couple of laps that the 5 truck from Labonte just drives away. But Hornaday's looking on the... He's looking. Here we go. Turn 3. He's there.
That was nice move.
And right behind him, here comes Skinner on the inside. Well, anyway, what race do you want to watch?
Pick one.
We'll pick the leaders right now.
I like this one. He can keep Labonte up there.
Labonte won't give up, will he? And we see that Bodine has been able to get by Skinner. Or stay in front of Skinner, I should say that.
Be more correct. What a battle.
Man, for the lead.
Hornaday outbraked him into 3 to get alongside. Picked up that truck length that he needed and has now stayed there 2.5 laps. And neither of them give up. And here comes once again.
At least we can see how much contact they've made. And Hornaday goes all the way to the inside. And now I think Labonte has the lead again, but
yeah, give it to him now. And look what happened as a result. Bodine and Skinner are right there to make it 3 wide for a moment.
I think the 16 truck made some contact and might have towed the truck in or bent the tire off.
Hornaday definitely got into it pretty firmly the previous lap and has now dropped back 2 truck lengths. Bodine and Skinner caught him in the midst of all this fray. Now Darrell Walker going side by side with Cope in the battle for 8th spot. Cope will get it in his first ever truck race. Darrell's second truck race. A couple of Winston Cup regulars trailing the lap 38 of Swindell, who's 17th the lap down.
Now the next victim in the front of the 32 of Derek Cope is Todd Bodine, another Winston Cup driver. And we see Benson back behind the 17, so evidently putting some gasoline in that truck solved his fuel pressure problem.
Must affect that he's 10th on the field and running competitively through the second half of the race here.
There he is, see him? I thought he'd wrecked.
Well, he may yet. Swindell up alongside the pool.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Excuse me, that's my spot. Would you please get out of the way? And he did.
Swindell spent his whole life in sprint cars, but you really can't afford to do that. He gets in this truck and says, oh, man, I love having sponsors. Bliss is in the thick of that, along with Sprague, who is tucked onto his tail as he races Mike Chase.
11 and 12.
right through the pack, and of course, points riding with every position. Bliss is currently 9th in the championship standings.
DW trying to look on the inside. Comes down the hill. There's Benson watching all this.
8th, 9th, and 10th. And the lead situation is pretty well settled in for the moment. Labonte has established a 5-truck lead over Hornaday, who in turn is 5 trucks in front of Bodine and Skinner. And this is where the action is inside the top 10.
And here comes Hornaday. He has last the 5. What happened?
You better keep an eye on that 5 truck, because he made up 5 truck lengths in 1 lap.
The 16 truck just made up the... Here we're going to try it again. Hey, Hornaday, that's the apron, my man.
Had her a little sideways. Labonte's all over the racetrack. That's good stuff.
And here comes Bodine. He's not out of this thing here.
I'm dazzled at how he made that up. I mean, we were not kidding you, ladies and gentlemen. At the moment he crossed start and finished, and I said he had 5 truck lengths, he had 5 truck lengths. At the other end of the racetrack, he got passed.
And here's Bodine and contact. And Hornaday goes around. Oh, it backs in the fence. Oh, done it.
Third-ranked driver in the standings. Look out, boys. There's a sideways truck up there, and they all squeeze through. We've got a yellow for Hornaday, which is tapped by Bodine.
Man, oh, man.
Post-race discussion coming between Hornaday and Bodine, perhaps?
No.
Just a little chat. Say, Jeff, you know, could have lived without that.
He's got to go in the pits and get that fender knocked off the tire, I think Hornaday does.
Yeah. Earnhardt's here. Dale Earnhardt owns the truck. There you see the damage that came as he backed into the wall. Let's see how it was triggered. Watch the number 7 coming up behind Hornaday.
Bodine dives to the inside. And Hornaday comes down, and they make just contact right there. We see Bodine on the apron of the racetrack like he was trying to get on the gas and to avoid Hornaday, but couldn't do it. And Hornaday goes up and backs in the fence.
Can't get her much lower than that. Bodine was trying to give him all the room he could. Hornaday was trying to squeeze him off and hold the position, and it cost him big time.
And here comes Hornaday down pit road. There he is. The Papa John's pizza delivery truck going towards the pits. But he's not delivering pizza tonight.
Break for Ruttman, who is 2nd in the point standings. We're going to go back. Yeah, thank you, Neil. This is what I told you, that he had a 5-truck lead. That's a 5-truck lead that he had.
At least a 5-truck lead.
Yeah. We just wanted to document that Dave and Benny were not leading you astray. Now, see, Skinner got in trouble up there. Looked like he slipped. And by the time you get back up front, look what's happened.
It's like there's oil or there's something was on the racetrack or...
And then it's just a terrific fight for the position. I wonder if Labonte didn't get up into the same thing Skinner got up into. They're coming off of 2. Look at this race for position now.
Man, he did some serious dirt tracking there, didn't he?
He sure did. And then here comes Bodine, and the rest, as they say, is history, although it'll happen on down at the other end of the raceway. So Labonte's 5 truck lengths disappeared in a hurry. And right there is the contact that sends the 3rd-ranked trucker in the series backward into the turn 2 wall.
And there really, I don't think there's any damage to the truck other than the fact that he had to stop and knock the sheet metal off the tire. And, you know, that puts him at the back of the field, and now he's like 15th or something. But they're putting speedy dry down. So evidently someone lost a lubricant on the racetrack, either water, oil, some type of fluid on the racetrack. And I think that's what the Terry Labonte and the 3 truck of Mike Skinner drove into and slipped.
Or cracked the camera man staying with Skinner because it looked like he was going to hit the fence. And I feel fairly confident that while that happened, we missed Terry Labonte doing the same thing, and that's where his lead went. And I believe Marty can update us from pit road.
Well, you were talking about Hornaday. You're exactly right, Benny. They had to come in. They did take the sheet metal off of that left rear. And you talk about guys having the bubble bursts. I mean, you look at them right now, they are leaning on the tools, and they're just saying, boy, this race just got away from us.
Yes, it did.
Huge disappointment for Hornaday. 94 points out of the lead. He did not need this. We'll take a break and come back with more from Richmond. Getting short. A full moon over Richmond International Raceway. We anticipated some strangeness, and we've had a bit of it here this evening. But I think the wildest stuff is still to come. Benny, how's this work now when we get down to the tail end of this deal? You take a look at the running order. What's the rule as far as green flag finish?
All these cars that you see here, the top 15 cars, are going to be nose to tail. Remember, on all the restarts previous to this, we've seen cars lining up the inside, the lap cars on the inside. With less than 10 laps to go, the lead lap cars line up nose to tail. The lap cars will not be there. And we have 4 laps to go. There'll be 3 when we come by, and we'll race it out to see who can win this thing.
The top 15 are on the lead lap, and Hornaday is the last truck in that group, he having spun a single truck mishap that brought out, was it the 8th caution of the night, and cost Hornaday dearly in terms of the championship. It leads Labonte, Bodine, Skinner, Ruttman, Schrader. Your top 5. Among them, Labonte and Bodine have looked like potential winners of the race. Skinner has not been the leader yet tonight. He's got 3 to go as we come green.
Hornaday in the 16, he and Jeff Bodine, the 7th truck, made some contact. That's why he spun down in turn 1. Here comes Bodine again.
Needs to do it in a hurry. Look out, Jeff, there's a wall over there. Likes to follow Labonte, gets right up, gives him a touch, lets him know he's there. White flag, 1 to go. He's alongside, and they will go doorpost to doorpost for the final lap. Benny, it doesn't get a whole lot better than that.
Oh, and they go up the hill a little bit, but Jeff's going to give some room coming off. Here they come, and Skinner's right back there.
Skinner sitting back there saying, boys, don't wreck the front and take me out, feed me a hole. Here they come to the checkered flag. Who's it going to be? I think it may be too close to call. It is Labonte. Wow.
Man, are these truck races unbelievable? Wow.
What is that, like the 4th or 5th time this year they finished side by side? One of them was an absolute photo finish. Labonte comes home the race winner. He's laughing it up and looking over and congratulating the runner-up Bodine. And Skinner makes a big move in terms of the championship. What a night.
Man, oh man.
That was terrific.
And here comes Labonte to victory circle. He's going to drive across. Oh, no, he doesn't. He's going to drive down the little road. There we see the 16 and the 7. Discussing the,
he ran that thing into the wall?
He almost did.
I think he did. He was so interested in chatting with Bodine. I don't think he's got much right there. Skinner leads Ruttman by 51 points as a result of tonight's festivity. Terry Labonte becomes the 6th different winner of the 1995 truck racing season. This in the 15th event of the year. And I'll tell you what, it was a wild one as expected. Now they can't get the window net down.
Yeah, how do we do this?
Here, I'll show you. I've been here before. Let's go to Marty Reed.
All right. Well, we're down here in Victory Lane with Terry Labonte, the crowd giving him a standing ovation. What a last lap. Great race.
Man, I'll tell you what, it was tough there. You know, Ron ran us real hard there. There was some oil in the racetrack, and it got real slick there, and then we had that restart. Seemed like it took my truck a couple laps to get going good, and then Jeff gave me a heck of a run there. We run side by side and just beat him back to the line. It was close.
You realize now you have a chance for a triple.
Well, you know, we do, and our Busch car really handled good today. We didn't qualify as good as we'd hoped to, and, you know, I'm sure our Kellogg Chevrolet will run good Saturday. And got to thank DuPont and all the sponsors here on our Super Truck. Appreciate everything they've done for us, and I'd like to thank Rick Hendrick for letting me drive it. This is the 3rd time out, and I thought I should have won the first one, but we finally got one.
Well, he's going to go for number 2 in the Busch race tomorrow night. Terry Labonte, your winner.
He's the only man who will race all 3 races this weekend. He's run 3 truck races, finished 3rd, 2nd, and 1st. You take a look at the unofficial order of finish as Labonte comes home a winner. Skinner helps his championship hopes a bunch, and Benny offers our final thought of the evening here. What do you think, buddy?
Well, there we see Jeff Bodine talking to the Busch officials or the SuperTruck officials, NASCAR officials. And we see Hornaday came over and talked to him a little bit. He did not like the bump down in the corner.
They have talked it out. And whatever they had to say, it is all over with. Reese Davis is next. Sports Smash. We thank Marty Reed for all his hard work in the pits. I just have a ball being a boy in the booth with Benny Parsons. I'm David Spain. That's it from Richmond. Congratulations, Labonte.